This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, an intense rescue off the Oregon coast is connected to a bizarre string of crimes. Even the Goonies are involved. Plus, the new RV park to help get people off Portland streets. Who will run it on behalf of the county? But before we get to all that, let's check in with Chris McGinnis for a look at our Saturday forecast. Good morning.
Good Saturday morning to you and everyone at home. Thanks for joining us. We're dry on the east side of I-5. The west side, starting to see some showers roll back in. A couple of sprinkles west side of Marion County. Polk County getting wet down towards Salem again. Washington County, Yamhill County, this rain is pushing eastward. It's light rain. But it is overspreading the western part of Oregon this morning. And, of course, the east side of the state, we've got a couple of sprinkles and snow flurries out there as well. I think the wettest part of our day is actually going to be this morning. But that said, keep the rain gear with you. You might need it from time to time today. It's 43. Last check at PDX. It's a little breezy on the east side of town as well. East-southeast wind 13 miles an hour, giving us feels-like temperatures, wind chills in the upper 30s. 44 last check in King City. Big perspective across the state. Nobody terribly cold early on this Saturday morning. 18. By all standards, not that bad in Burns, 27, Baker City, and Pendleton waking up to 46. All right, the plan for today. Right now, it's mostly cloudy at the airport. As we showed you on radar, there are some showers west of I-5. We keep the chance of wet weather in the forecast today, but Tim, any showers are likely to be pretty light and fairly short-lived. I do have Portland topping out in the low 50s this afternoon.
All right, sounds pretty good. Thanks, Chris. All new this morning, Portland homicide detectives have been on the scene of a deadly shooting along Southeast Division. This is in the Mill Park neighborhood. Officers responded to reports of a shooting just after 2 a.m. They found a man dead in a parking lot near Southeast 113th and Division. Right now, they do not have any suspects. We will update you as we get more information. And now to a strange saga at sea. A Canadian man is in custody after a series of bizarre events around Astoria, with the dots eventually connecting back to the iconic Goonies house. Alma McCarty breaks it all down for us.
The treacherous conditions on the Columbia are the very reason the Coast Guard trains here. And training is exactly what they were doing when crews received a mayday signal from this boat.
It was kind of fitting that there was a case at the end of the week in the circumstances and environment that we had trained.
Due to the dangerous conditions, the Coast Guard decided a boat rescue wouldn't be possible. So they sent Petty Officer 3rd Class Branch Walton, a rescue swimmer, to carry out the mission. But then, this happened.
I kind of got thrown around a little bit by the wave, and then when I came up, I noticed that the boat was pretty much in shambles and kind of split in two.
Despite the rogue wave and capsized vessel, Walton reached the survivor.
As soon as I got up, I let the helicopter know that I was okay. Started looking around immediately, and it worked out perfectly.
After crews pulled the man to safety, he was taken to the hospital. The Coast Guard posted the videos and this picture. And from there, it didn't take long for people in the community to make the connection. The person rescued was the same man accused of putting a fish on the porch of the Goonies house 2 days earlier. Jericho Labani.
One of my buddies was like, dude, you will not believe what just happened. Like, check this out.
The new owner of the Goonies house, Bayman Zachary, isn't surprised when people stop by, but he was surprised to see this.
But he pulls out this gigantic, fish that obviously is not alive and just places it. And, being from Kansas City, you got to wonder, is the guy sending a message and I'm going to be sleeping with the fishes or something, Fast
forward to Friday. Astoria Police Chief Stacy Kelly explained they were piecing all this together when they got a call from the Coast Guard.
The connections were being made that it was the same person and that he was at the hospital. And by the time we got involved, he'd been released from the hospital. What we've since found out is that he had taken the sandpiper from the West End Basin, which is at the port of Astoria.
Around 7:30 Friday night, officers arrested Labani at a warming shelter in Seaside on charges of theft, endangerment, and unauthorized use of a vehicle.
So in addition to those charges in Oregon, Labani is a wanted fugitive in British Columbia and a suspect in other cases as well. He was booked in the Clatsop County Jail last night. What a story. Now to another kind of crime also recorded on video. In this case, thieves used a crowbar to quickly break into a Southeast Portland comic book store. And the owner says this is the third time in the last few weeks he's been hit. John Thomas and his wife own the Disc Heroes shop on 162nd and Division. Thomas says over the course of the 3 break-ins, the burglars got away with more than $30,000 worth of inventory. Thomas says he's definitely not closing up shop, and when it comes to finding the crooks, he's not giving up.
I have thought about sitting here overnight this next week, but not, armed or anything, just sitting here, seeing if they're going to try again.
Well, anyone who recognizes the burglars or knows anything about the case should contact Portland Police. In the meantime, a GoFundMe has been launched to help the Thomases recover. You can find that link in the article we have up at KGW.com. Well, now we turn to big developments in our homeless crisis and a new plan from Multnomah County. The county's top elected leader saying the proposal will help move people off the streets in a more humane and ultimately successful way. It comes as a new survey shows while the public perception of Portland is improving, it still has a long way to go.
Downtown Portland has been through a lot the past few years, and part of what has caused a spike in concern about crime and safety is the desperation that comes with an ever-present homeless population. As the city and county grapple with finding the right combination of solutions, the new Multnomah County chair announced a plan that takes the time to get people into the right type of housing before clearing problem areas permanently.
And we're calling it Housing Multnomah Now, because that's really what it's about. It's about getting people who are living outside, living unsheltered, directly into housing.
Chair Jessica Vega Peterson announced the $14 million plan this week during a taping of Straight Talk with Laurel Porter. Peterson explained how she and other local leaders visited Seattle to see a similar effort where outreach workers spend weeks getting to know people and their needs to match the right kind of housing and support.
And we're going to do this in a similar way by targeting an area in the central city. We're also looking to do it in East County within this next calendar year.
This comes as the latest annual survey for the Portland Business Alliance shows a slight improvement in voter sentiment about the direction of the region from 2021 to 22. You can see those who think things are on the wrong track trended down 10 percentage points, and 8% more think we're going in the right direction. Better, but still in negative territory overall, says John Horvick with DHM Research.
Things either leveled out or improved, and we'll just have to continue to monitor and do good work as a community to see if those numbers improve or if they move in a negative direction again.
Peterson is banking on this new direct-to-housing plan being part of heading in the right direction.
It's doing it in a way that I think supplements and complements the work that we're already doing with our shelters, with alternative shelters, even with the city's proposal around the urban campgrounds.
Reference there to the mayor's plan to build large sanctioned camps. Vega Peterson says this plan will be in action soon, with the first 4 months spent targeting the central city, downtown Portland. And in terms of ending homeless camping in these areas, as always, that will be a challenge. The county chair says it will take the support of everyone, including private landowners, to make it work. Well, meantime, the Rose City is one step closer to opening its first so-called safe park village. We've learned that the Salvation Army will manage the outdoor shelter for people living in their RVs. The Sunderland RV Park site is right off Marine Drive and Northeast 33rd Drive. That's an area known for illegal RV camps, fires, and trash. The Safe Rest Village site will offer more room for 55 RVs and will be staffed 24/7. Residents will have access to mental and physical health resources, along with help for getting things like driver's licenses. Those are all common barriers to employment.
The trauma of living on the street has people under constant stress, and this is intended to provide sort of a de-escalation, a chance for people to calm and catch up and identify their needs, articulate their needs, work with the staff at the village to get those needs met, and then move on to whatever's next.
Now, the RV Safe Park is one of 6 planned safe rest villages and the only one to provide space for RVs. The county's Joint Office of Homeless Services is still working out a contract agreement with the Salvation Army. After that's signed, they'll staff up and be closer to opening. Okay, still to come on Sunrise, we'll check in on safety improvements along 82nd Avenue in Portland, hear from people who live nearby, and walk along what has been a dangerous road.